Coming up on Mountain News at 6, Kentucky Senate Majority Leaders share their goals for 2026, what they hope to prioritize during the next legislative session. Plus, a couple of schools in Johnson County work together to raise funds to make improvements.
And all is quiet now, but we're talking cooler temperatures on Thursday. Details coming up.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Kentucky lawmakers are planning for new budget discussions and a multitude of bills expected to be discussed in Frankfort. Some Republican leaders are meeting in Bardstown to come up with their game plan. Education, job growth, income taxes, energy, and artificial intelligence could dominate those bill requests. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what was said at My Old Kentucky Home.
A place of history is where Kentucky Senate leaders met to talk about recent policy paving the way for the future.
We're here for a couple days of kind of intense meetings with our caucus members to hear what their ideas are.
Republicans will lay out the agenda for the 2026 session. No big specifics were announced, but leaders did say education will be a priority, along with various housing issues.
Removing outdated regulations that increase costs. We're talking about allowing single-stair designs possibly, expanding use of qualified third-party inspectors.
Part of what is discussed here could come from a number of task force meetings that have been held since the last session ended. Those have dealt with everything from Kentucky housing concerns, making Kentuckians more healthy, to artificial intelligence.
It's either China or it's us.
Senate President Robert Stiver says AI and energy could be the biggest issues globally right now. Kentucky needs to be ready.
It will be the tool for the next 10, 15, 20 years in education, economics, and global security.
The 60-day session will be highlighted by drawing up a new $15 billion state budget. Another 0.5% income tax reduction will take effect next year.
Trajectory looks good for us continuing in a measured downward incremental decline.
A trigger was not met for 2027, but leaders say the tax base being lowered still signals more growth and good news for the future. In Nelson County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
And a pretty scene there, too. Senate Democrats were not at the retreat, and we were told they are having an event later this week. The next legislative session begins January 6th and will run through April. 2 people were taken to a hospital following a crash involving a KSP cruiser. We first told you about this last night at 6. It happened a little before 5:30 yesterday on Kentucky 80 near Hindman. Police say Anthony Bersalia, who is not a trooper or works with state police, was behind the wheel of a patrol vehicle when it hit another vehicle. Bersalia was reportedly driving from the Hazard KSP post to his garage for maintenance on the cruiser. He was not hurt. The driver of the other vehicle, Deborah Wallen, and a young passenger were taken to the Hazard ARH to be treated for possible minor injuries. One man was arrested on rape charges in Pulaski County. Deputies with the sheriff's office charged 35-year-old Aaron Acton last week. Police were responding to a complaint they received. After collecting evidence in the case, police took Acton into custody. He was taken to the Pulaski County Detention Center. His bond was set at $100,000 cash. One Pike County a woman was arrested after she was accused of trafficking meth and marijuana. The incident happened last week on US 23. Police say they noticed Madison Balow and another person in a vehicle who were not wearing their seatbelts. This prompted officers to pull the vehicle over. When police searched it, they found some bags containing what they believed was meth and marijuana. Madison Balow was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. In Floyd County, the case against a man charged with murder in connection with a woman's death is heading to a grand jury. Joshua Gayhart was arraigned last week. He was arrested in connection with Sarah Sloan's death. KSP got a call about Sloan being found unresponsive at a home in the Beaver area back on November 21st. Sloan's body was then sent to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Well, most of us missed out on the snow yesterday, but our part of the state might have the best chance to see a little bit of it later this week. Meteorologist Sarah Dean has our first look at the forecast.
That's right, especially south of the Howard Rogers Parkway into our upper elevation counties in Virginia. Take a look here at the temperatures right now in the 30s. Look at Harlan, 38 degrees, 35 in Williamsburg, 30 in Boonville, as well as Jackson. Prestonsburg's at 32, 33 is the temperature in Clintwood. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. All is quiet throughout eastern Kentucky. High pressure is in control right now, and it's going to stay in control for the day on Thursday as well. We have a cold front situated right here. This is going to swing through as we go into the day on Thursday. It's going to drop those temperatures with highs back into the mid-30s. So if you have plans over the next few hours, just take that jacket with you and make sure you check the WYMT First Alert weather app. Will stay mainly clear, with temperatures staying in the mid-30s. We'll talk more about Friday's potential snow chances coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. Yesterday, we told you about Giving Tuesday, a way for folks to give back to groups and communities they love the most. While many larger nonprofit organizations participate yearly, so do some smaller schools. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to some of those school leaders in Johnson County who are working together to raise those funds.
As a larger part of Giving Tuesday, schools in eastern Kentucky are taking part in the fundraising campaigns, hoping to raise money for needs unique to their campuses. For the Pieris School, director for the theater department, Jasmine Lykin, says they have raised 19% of their goal, partially for a new stage.
We're trying to replace that stage not only for our shows, but for broader community events, for graduation and other club ceremonies and things of that nature. We want this to be something that our whole school community can use.
And podcasting equipment, so students have the opportunity to explore different career paths.
I think our students would really enjoy getting experience in that because we are a college prep school, but we also want to help students get some of their career goals in mind.
And just down the street, Our Lady of the Mountains is raising money to replace the 113-year-old roof, which continues to experience leaking.
It definitely is something that affects the students, and so we're really hoping to be able to replace the roof so that we can continue serving students for decades and decades to come.
And while the schools have completely different needs, they are working to support each other through the I Give Catholic campaign.
I think the question is, how do we help and how do we continue these legacies of these people who put so much care and effort into our community? And that's really important to me.
And while the arts are extremely important, and I would love to have our things, we need roof on that building. We need a roof. Those kids deserve a nice, safe building.
Working together to continue educating the future of eastern Kentucky. In Johnson County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
For more information on how you can help, just find this story on WYMT.com or the WYMT News app. New University of Kentucky football coach Will Stein was formally introduced a short time ago in Lexington. Stein spent the past 3 seasons as offensive coordinator at the University of Oregon. Of course, some of you may remember the last time Kentucky hired a coach with Oregon ties. That was Rich Brooks. He led the Cats to 4 straight bowl games before stepping down after the 2009 season. Mackenzie Freeman will have much more about Stein's introductory news conference a little later in sports.
All right, weather headlines for tonight. Cooler air is going to enter the forecast again for your Thursday. Snow chances not out of their own possibility on Friday. Then those temperatures, they're going to take a plunge as we go to the first part of next week. Details coming up.
Plus, the 6th annual Share the Warmth Coat Drive is underway.